Welcome back, Lelanders, to I think a first edition episode of UFO Reports. Now lately, well I shouldn't say lately, for the past while in Canada, UFO reports died down completely to the point where you couldn't hear any. And there's an island that I visited in the past that has a lot of reports or ancient legends about history, about the Thunderbird, or what you would call like the native impression of a UFO. So I was always wondering, I was like, when is this UFO invasion going to happen on the island again? A lot of people are saying they never really believed the legends in the first place, so what are the odds that it would actually happen? But I don't know, it was wild. Today I was on Facebook, and I'm part of the Facebook groups from the island, tracking to see when the UFOs would start, and lo and behold, it's begun. Couldn't believe it. Well, I shouldn't say I can't believe it. I kind of had a feeling it was coming soon, but I'm just doing some taste testing of beer that might have gone skunky. I know it's a bit of a serious show topic tonight, so we'll try not to drink too much. Plus, I got to work early in the morning. Apparently, this beer is so skunky you can't even drink it, but I don't know, maybe it's my taste lately. I don't really notice it. To me, it tastes the same as any beer. Alright, so, yeah, Doug Black, he just joined the Discord chat, and he's saying, man, that's crazy. Yeah, I know, right? Like, what are the odds that Canada's having UFO invasion? So, I think we'll have to, we'll get into the reports this episode. Apparently, people have already taken video, but they didn't think it was good enough to submit it. So I was like, shit, man, like, hopefully they will submit it, and ask them, and they're going to try to find it in their profile. They've lost it somewhere because they posted the first clip of it a while ago. Yeah, it's a little bit skunky. Not too bad. I don't know if anyone's ever left beer in the heat for too long, even though it's still sealed, it can go bad, right? Yeah, it tastes more like a lager now. I don't mind it. Alright, so if anyone's wondering how close the reports of the Thunderbird are, that's about where on the island where this star is here. And where the UFO reports are just like maybe not even halfway across the island. And this is the biggest island in the world for fresh water, so it's a big island, but not like hours big. Like I think to drive from one side of the island to the other, it could be wrong, you're looking at less than 2 hours. So, well, I guess it is a pretty big island still, but... So, I don't know, like, the reports from there to there, that's pretty damn close. Alright, so I think what we'll do, before we wait any longer, let's get into some of the actual reports, because I haven't even read them all. Or should we get to the ancient legend part? Yeah, let's do the legend part first. I don't want to get right to the meat of the show just yet. Now, there's a chance we might actually get a caller from Skype, who's someone from the island who actually witnessed it just a few days ago, but I don't know if the call is going to go through. Don't get your hopes up. That's what I tell all the ladies. So there we go. Now here I have a copy of a file of the history of the legends of the island. See if we can make it bigger so we can see it. Oh yeah, that's looking good, eh? Wow. Here's the number 7 again. Me and one of my old podcast guests, Art Olivier, he was just talking about how important 7 is. So here we have Manitoulin Island is home to 7 communities of Anishinaabe, known as the People of Three Fires, the Ottawa, Potawatomi, and the Ojibwe nations. Sorry for butchering the pronunciations. I don't think I've actually heard any of them pronounced aloud. Alright, for centuries before European colonization, these native groups migrated to the island to experience dreams and visions. Under the Bond Head Treaty of 1836, thank God, the island became a refuge for natives wanting to live away from the influence of white people. It was known as the Manitoulin Island Indian Reserve. You gotta think, not to make fun of it or anything, but dear God, that was a pretty damn good treaty if you had to sign a treaty. Because, man, the island's like really the nicest place in the whole fucking province. So if you're getting the nicest place in the treaty, I know it wasn't a good treaty right off the bat, but at least something came out of it that was decent. Allowed the government to divide the island culturally. Yeah, that's a weird part. I don't know if anyone's ever been to the island before, but it is, well, it's not even just the island. A lot of parts like Canada are like this, but they actually segregate societies. So you'll come across a border, and unless you're a certain skin color, you're not allowed to live there. So I think how it is on the white side, anyone can live, but on the native side, only natives. Which, in retrospect, it does make sense. You don't want the natives to lose any more land than they already have. But the whole part of segregating society does seem very strange. Because usually the government's like, oh, segregation is the worst thing ever. And then they're like, here, come see our segregation. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, well, it's like, do as we say, not as we do. Alright, so unfairly resulting in the split of the island into separate reserves, resulting in the loss in culture for the natives who live there. Yeah, that sucks. So the island is sacred, and the legend passed down through the years is that when the Great Spirit Manitou reaches the earth, he set aside the bluest sparkling water, the brightest stars, the most beautiful glistening quartz rock. The Great Spirit made an island with the quartz rock called Manitou, menacing. Then he set it in the inland sea. If anyone hasn't heard, I don't know, I could be getting it wrong, but I heard Manitou translates to spirit. And oddly enough, my friends from Iran, I can't remember if they pointed it out or I just happened to notice, but yeah, it also happens to be the same word in Old Persian. Slightly different spelling, but same word, same meaning, oddly enough. And Old Persian culture is very similar with the legend part too, so, huh. If I had to guess, Manitoulin Island or Dreamer's Rock has not only had native visitors throughout the years, but there's probably been strange shaman that came from all over the world for maybe even pre-Ice Age. I know some people make fun of the idea that natives were on North America before the Ice Age, but if I had to guess, I would say yes. A lot of the things we got in the history about when natives got here seems a little fucked up. The whole walking here across a bridge. Maybe it's true, who knows. So I guess I shouldn't get over too much of the whole island story, because we gotta hurry, I gotta work tomorrow, but maybe in the future we'll have time to go in more detail. But yeah, and make sure you ask the natives permission to get their history and share it. I know in white culture it's a little bit different, that people do things when it comes to history and sharing, so. But I understand, each culture is different. Should be that way. Alright, so we got different island legends. Some of them are about how the island was created and different properties that make it freaking amazing, like animals, mountains, and minerals. Then there's a legend about a fish that unlocked a cave. I used to own land right where the cave was supposed to be hidden. I searched a bit around to find it, but sadly enough, there's a giant mine that opened there now. I ended up selling the property just before the mine expanded. So I don't know, it kind of makes me sad to think that a mine might have actually destroyed this cave. There was like an interdimensional portal. Like, really, when it comes to Stargate technology, like the new Stargate show coming out on Amazon, shout out to it. But yeah, we actually had evidence of Stargate technology, and hopefully it wasn't destroyed. Damn mining. You gotta figure mining's one of the, necessary evils of our society, but damn, it'd be nice if we could get by without mining. Alright, so one of the other stories is about Dreamer's Rock and how a prophet was fasting. He managed to contact the Thunderbird, which came and picked him up, hence the UFO ideas. And when he was there, he was on the UFO and contacted or spoke with the creator. He showed him some holographic technology, talked to him about white people coming, taught him how gravity well technology works and totem poles. People might be wondering how the fuck was he teaching about gravity wells. It's connecting to the equinox and solstices. So if you teach people that stuff, that's really what you're getting into. So oddly enough, just like the George Floyd Memorial, the natives turned their back on the teachings from the creator from that encounter with the UFO, and as punishment, he destroyed the flagpole or totem with a giant frickin' bolt of lightning. And it happened on the day they were supposed to worship it. So, I don't know, it's odd, eh? A lot of times the creator seems to be connected to some sort of lightning spirit or creation thing where, yeah, piss the creator off, you get hit with lightning. But we'll see. So, I don't know, this is the one legend what I was always fascinated about was how the creator was showing, like, different screen type technology, like a liquid crystal screen. So that really blew my mind to think more along the lines of UFOs rather than spiritual, but you never know. Spiritual and UFOs might be the same thing for all we know. So after his encounter, yeah, he was able to do this healing of people that were sick. That'd be sweet. Alright, so if anyone wants to hear more about that legend, I actually got it from a website that was eventually taken down. So I don't know if there's a book somewhere, if anyone knows where this came from, other than the website. It'd be great if we could buy a copy of the book and share it, or at least share where to buy the book. That'd be sweet. Alright, so there we go. That's that legends for now. Alright, so I contacted Tyler. I'm just going to briefly check and see what's happening with Skype, see if he's came up. No response from him yet. Sorry if I doxed anyone there. No, I think it's just people's names, and I swear all those people are strangers. They don't know me. I have no idea why they're on my Skype contact list. And, no, I'm just joking. Alright, 88 comments. Holy shit. Alright, how can I bring this up on the screen? Hide post? I just want to view the post. It's like it's not an image, right? So I'm having trouble opening it somewhere else on the screen. Okay, I guess this will have to do. Alright, so Wyatt Deering is this guy that lives on the island. He's into hunting. People think that's weird. We're talking Canada, and a lot of people are into hunting here. So hopefully I didn't show anything too much on YouTube. I can't. Oh, fuck off, you piece of shit. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Sorry. Sometimes I have a little bit of bad luck with technology. You can tell it gets on my nerves a little. Alright, so Tyler, he says, or Wyatt, he says he spotted a UFO above Ice Lake early this morning. He's scared. Should he call the police? And what were the reactions? 52 people laughed at him, which you got to think it's a UFO sighting. You would be shocked if most people didn't mock the person reporting it. 33 likes, 12 wows, 1 love, and 1 care. So that's a pretty good ratio. You can tell that on the island, I think a lot of people are a little bit more understanding when it comes to UFOs because of how many legends there already are on the island. And most people are realizing that, oh yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff happening there. Alright, so we got one comment from Tyler Leeson, and he says that he witnessed the same thing last week in South Bay. Alright, no, I was just looking at the wrong page there for a sec. So Craig was asking Tyler Leeson to explain more. William was saying that it's harmless, it's piloted by Sasquatches, and they're friendly to humans. But most people don't believe him either. And the little people. Alright, so there's someone asking Tyler if he would like to do a Skype interview. I wonder who that is. Alright, why is there no button to close what you opened? Ah, fuck, man. What the hell? There we go. You know how they click that to open it? How do you click it to close it? Oh, we'll just ignore closing it. So, alright, so Robin was saying that they also saw something above the ice lake a few years ago. And it followed it towards the airport. It hovered there for a little, then it headed west. I got it on video somewhere. Alright, so Robin says that they're going to look through their posts and try to find the video. So, QJ Wang, they said that they've heard of quite a few people spotting it, like in the air lately. I once saw a dark red glowing thing. Oh, here we actually got a description. A dark red glowing thing, like 100 feet above my head, just this dark red circle going. Super slow with no sound. Then it took off super fast. Not sure if these are like drones likely, but usually drones have a sound. What exactly did you see? Now, QJ Wang is correct. I'm also got into drone piloting for a while. Most times drones are super loud. You can actually buy specific propellers to try to make them sound quieter. But yeah, they usually only cut sound in half. It's still going to be super loud. And the average drone battery lasts for about like 15 minutes if you're lucky. If you have a brand new state-of-the-art drone, you might be pushing a half hour, but yeah, that'd be really pushing it. So if you're watching a flight that's gone undisturbed for more, then yeah. Alright, so Julie's got some information. She says, me too. Mine was green, flashing just outside my window for a good 10 minutes. See, there we're talking 10 minutes, that's still within drone battery. But if it's like really loud, then you'll know for sure it's a drone. I was talking on the phone and told them what I was seeing, and it was just as fast as it came. Do. Oh, it went away just as fast as it came. Wow. Now, isn't it funny? Like, I haven't heard UFO reports in a long, long time. Like, really, since cell phones came out and people could just film stuff and report it, and all of a sudden no one had evidence anymore. So I was wondering, I was like, are we ever going to get UFO reports again? And it's funny how it's like a whole island reporting. Well, I shouldn't say the whole island, but man, this is a lot of stories we're going through. These are like fresh UFO reports that I don't think have ever been classified by any UFO reporting agency. And this is like the actual people's names. Sorry if anyone didn't want to be on the show, but it is publicly on Facebook, so I figured it should be okay. if anyone was posting that they didn't want to have seen, then they shouldn't really be posting it in public. But if anyone wants, I can take it down with censoring. Right, what is the best place to see a full UFO on the island, and only the best? Lake Huron, go at your own parallel. Bottom of the bag of mushrooms. Now, from what we've seen, so far it's Ice Lake, right? Ice Lake was the one. I know a lot of people probably don't want to release the location because it'll get swarmed with people looking for UFOs, but yeah, so far it looks like Ice Lake. Alright, so Rick says Justin Trudeau is scanning, getting ready to screw over what's left of the beautiful country. Now, the one thing that's funny about Justin Trudeau haters, it's pretty much like the hater of any politician, but when you think about it, did it really matter who was in charge of the country? Like, if Justin wasn't in charge, it would have been some conservative, or would have been the NDP, and they would have screwed us over the same ways anyways. So I think it's kind of funny to obsess about, like, just who it was in charge. It's not like that really mattered at all, but if one thing you got to give Justin some credit for, at least he gave us weed. And what wasn't surprising, he gave us weed and we got less UFO reports. Go figure. I always thought it'd be the opposite. Alright, Lyle Sanders. Even the aliens come to Manitoulin Island to vacation, relax. As funny as that sounds, it's actually part of one of the legends that the immortals and different like spiritual creatures are actually coming to the island, and it was not only like their place for vacations, but it's also like an afterlife place. Hey, nah bro, how's it going? So yeah, like there's the immortal light beings that apparently live on the island as well. I haven't seen any of them there yet, but I haven't spent too much time out at night there. So far, every time I slept on the island, I was very tired and just went right to sleep. I didn't stay up at night. Well, except for one time hanging out with hot babes, but other than that. No, we were just stargazing. Alright, so call your optometrist. They're floaters. Yeah, I've heard of floaters. I've had one too. It kind of sucks because it's like a little thing in your eye, and it's like anytime you look somewhere you can see it, but it's almost translucent, so it's not that bad, but it gets annoying after a while. I only noticed floaters when I worked in a place that had really bright lights, and then all of a sudden you can see it on the edge of your eye if you have one. Yeah, so Doug says everyone keep watch and make sure to record. Less that know the better. No authorities need to be alerted. So I think, yeah, some people are a little bit worried what's going to happen on the island. Oh yeah, aliens coming to the island. Another one that was a big one was Roosevelt. You know, the guy that dug up the treasure on Oak Island and managed to do it without it getting caught, bringing it to the White House and putting it in the vault. But anyways, before he came and dug up the treasure on Oak Island, he visited Manitoulin Island. Some say that he got his powers unlocked at Dreamer's Rock so that he could finish his goals. Oh, and then after that, he also dropped the bomb on Japan. Or I heard he was just part of the bombing. Who knows if he did the final call. But anyways, yeah, that's a little bit of history about who else comes to the island and what world events unfold afterwards. Alright, I'm not scared they will take one look at me and throw me back. I wouldn't say that, Brenda. You're really cute. There we go, Lynn Picard. She says the same thing. Sorry, to me decisive, just my sick sense of humor. Most likely a UFO with a 5.9 powering it. I don't know if that's like a powerboat engine or something. Now, Chris Sagan is saying that it was a drone. But one of the things that discredits the drone theory more than ever now is drones are actually illegal. So in most cases, you're not even allowed to fly them. So yeah, unless you got some sort of permit or you're flying it illegally. Now, it's kind of weird in a way. Canada got so strict with the drone laws, but I think it's safer that way too. A lot of people were right. It was kind of weird having drones flying everywhere. Oh yeah, the cows better look out for those UFOs, right? Right, some guy was really smart, and he, no, I'm just joking. He pointed out that it was illegal to fly, and batteries only last for about 15 minutes. Yeah, try hitchhiking. Maybe the UFO can give you a ride home. That's actually one of the parts of the legend, is part to prove the creator took him, or actually picked up the prophet Shawanasawi, is they took him to a really far off place. So he had to get help to get back home. I forget what happened. I think one of the other villages or something gave him a ride back in a, who knows how you could get a ride back then, maybe by canoe, but who knows. Yeah, so Wyatt said the main reason he didn't take pictures is his phone is broken. I was thinking that a lot of people on the island, not to make fun of it, but there's a lot of seniors that are retired there. So them getting pictures of this, it is going to be sketchy at best. If they're, even if their phone does have a camera, it'll be old school cameras. Yeah, Santiago does bring up a funny point. That's what they say every time. Yeah, even if you could get pictures of UFO, like really, like unless you're a pro photographer, your camera's not going to take a good picture at night. If you had the chance to like change the ISO settings and allow more light in, longer exposures, maybe then, but that's still going to be pushing it. So Deb, what's the police going to do? Get your phone and record, then plaster it on social media? Yeah, that's my hope too. No, really, you are kind of supposed to report it to the police just in case it's like something dangerous unfolding, especially when it comes to aerial phenomenon, like especially if it's not a UFO. If it happened to be like a Russian warplane or who knows what it could be, right? They left strange markings on all the local folks. I don't believe that, but maybe it's a joke from Chris White. Aaron Omid, it was more like the Starlink satellites. I don't know if anyone's seen a Starlink satellite yet. It does sound like a funny joke. I don't think you can see the satellites. They must be really small, and to be that high up in the sky, or space, the chances of seeing them from the ground must be near impossible. We'll get to the one witness that accounts how big the size of it was too. Alright, so Steven says must be good weed. Yeah, I think with weed and stoners, most stoners by the time they've been smoking weed for years, like me for example, we usually don't even get a buzz anymore. It's more of just a habit of exhaling smoke. If it was someone reporting it the first time they ever tried weed, then yeah, maybe. Like, holy shit, first time. Whoa. Next time, minnow trap book. Hope you get to videotape it next time. Yeah, Rachel. Like, there's a whole bunch of people that have just reported on this. It's like 45 minutes ago, right? Hey, did you get the license plate if you're going to report it to the police? That is a good one. Smoke another one. Call Ghostbusters. Yeah, I bet you we should. Who is it? Dan Aykroyd? He's a Canadian, and he's right into fucking UFOs, and he was one of the guys from Ghostbusters. I could be wrong, but I think he even wrote it. Excuse me. I bet you if you called him up and was like, hey, Dan, you bring the Ghostbusters team to check out these UFOs, he'd be there tomorrow. Should have took a picture. But yeah, hopefully Dan's doing all right. I usually see him posting on his vodka site. I got some of his vodka. It's great shit. Jamie Smith looking for ET. Should have took a picture. Give that one a like. Merrily, she says they're definitely out there. Wow, some people on the island are right into UFOs. What the hell are the police gonna do? Shoot them down and arrest them? That one is a pretty good one. You never know, right? Like, some people said that it was huge, right? They probably could have fired a few shots at it. I don't like your last name, pal. Be nice, be dear, our grandparents advise us. Boo-hoo, call the cops. Yeah, there's a guy with the last name as our prime minister. So George says lay off the mushrooms. Natalie says the Men in Black will show up. Fuck, man. You wouldn't be surprised how often that really happens. Some of the last big UFO sightings in Canada actually had the UFO or Men in Black show up and get caught on film. It happened in Niagara Falls, if anyone wants to look it up. They came and freaked the shit out of everyone at some hotel when they started asking for some people involved with UFOs. And then, yeah, some of the people are like scared half to death, and they're like, who are these fucked up guys that are like agents that showed up? I don't know, I've had some close calls with the Men in Black myself, so I'll try not to get too much more into them. Fuck, man, I've even had nightmares about them. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Right, Celia says, why is this joke funny to toothless morons? I've seen it so many times from the same type of guy. Oh, so they're implying that there's like some hillbillies living on the island that keep making up the same story. I don't know, that could be the case, but the only thing is there's a lot of women that reported it as well, so I don't think they fit the hillbilly man description or redneck, but we'll see. Yeah, if I had to guess, Cecilia is probably close to right? It's probably like a 50-50 chance right now. Are people making up the story, or is it just... Did they see something that they reported, or is the whole thing made up? Or could it be an exaggeration? Inform the military could be an alien invasion. It is funny as it sounds. We actually got first contact that could be coming any day because NASA is starting to build a moon base. So if the aliens are waiting for us to be a space civilization before they contact, a moon base could be the trigger. At least that's what Star Trek taught me. No, that was a warp drive. After warp drive they came. Yeah, the Michael Jackson eating popcorn. That is one of my favorite memes. Alright, so Santonio says that something about penises. Well, he could be right. Let's check. Part of this island is actually called Cockburn Island. They say you better bring suntan lotion. It's a nude beach. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's terrible. Me and Santonio, we have the same sick sense of humor. Alright, so Keegan says, please. Yeah. I wonder if anyone. Yeah, Cockburn. It's one of the islands on Manitoulin. They have a nice beach, but it's a nude beach, and they highly recommend sunscreen. Now, no one ever gets that joke. I swear I've told it 100 times, and it gets the same response every time. All right, Sharon, she's like, pictures. Yes, Sharon's right. We want to see more. No, if anyone wants to know a weird, well, I shouldn't say it's a conspiracy. One of the things that's weird about the Starlink that we were just talking about, is they're made out of aluminum. What's one of the most dangerous things about aluminum? It's getting exposed to it. Because if you do, you can get cancers. Well, not to offer medical advice, but they're actually putting it on the labels of deodorant now when they have no aluminum. So one of the things that you really don't want aluminum is for it to hit your house like above you and then shine on you. Because the sun and aluminum is not a good combination. So that's why they advise against like aluminum roofs and stuff. But anyways, guess what Elon did? He covered the entire sky in aluminum with those Starlink satellites. There's literally thousands of them. So ever since he's put them in orbit and now we're getting hit by extra rays of aluminum, all of a sudden human health tanked. Like we had the pandemic and everything, but I don't think it's related, but it is kind of a funny coincidence, right? When you talk about it, like, yeah. What could be happening with that? Oh yeah, some missing shit. Trudeau is going to pass a UFO tax. Oh yeah, that was the thing I was going to mention about Elon too. I was trying to remember where I was going with that. Elon was released in a picture lately, and he was shirtless. Guess where he lives? He lives in like Texas, right? He should be burnt to a crisp. Like suntans and like at least a little bit of sun. But what does he have? He's white as a fucking ghost. He avoids the sun like the plague. So isn't it interesting, right where we're getting dosed in high doses of fucking aluminum radiation, Elon's indoors hiding from it. Oh well, could be a coincidence. Jesus, you don't get out much. Yeah, it's true. I only get out very rarely too, like once or twice a year, other than work. No, someone's making fun of people taking medications. That's never nice. Probably the government experimenting again. Yeah, Ron's probably right about that. Hey, George, how's it going? Hey, Jelton, yeah, long time no see, man. Can't even remember the last time. Was it yesterday? No, I'm just kidding. Evening jobs. Hey, just add lights to the long list of another thing up there. Yeah, that's what they were saying, the James Webb telescope, it got destroyed already. And they're saying it's because space is full of space junk. Who knows? It could have been parts from Elon's satellites. No, some sort of micro debris hit it and they have no way to repair it, so it's fucked. That's what I figured, man. That was kind of stupid to put a satellite that you can't repair, because even Hubble required repairs multiple times. At first they thought they could never repair it, but then they sent up astronauts and actually fixed it. Yeah, so this alien invasion, I think a lot of people are making fun of it, rightfully so, on Facebook, but there's a lot of people are taking it serious, so let's keep going. If you're a liberal, call the police. If you're a conservative, have a beer. If you're NDP, cry to Trudeau. Oh, man. Politics in Canada is getting pretty lame. I don't even notice the difference between any of them. They all seem like the same party to me. The "you're fucked" party. And not in a good way. The politician represents my sensibilities, blah, blah, blah. I believe you. They're coming. Call the UCCM. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, someone's saying describe it, for fuck's sakes, right? Like, people are all seeing this UFO and no one's describing what it is. Call the police so they can arrest the aliens. Right, so what I did is I did a little bit more searching, and there was another person that reported it, and they were right. It does seem like the redneck thing, but who knows? Let's see. See if we got his report and if I can track his report down. Because in his report, there was like another lady who saw it, and she actually gave a description. Or no, maybe it was on here, and then I just forgot to read that part. Oh yeah, so Robin saw it, and she said it flew towards the airport, hovered there for a little bit, headed west, and she got it on video. Fuck, man, I can't remember where the best comment was. Alright, well, let's try the other report, see if it's in there. Tyler Leeson is like this, people make fun of him, but I guess a redneck type guy that lives on the island. It's very common, hunter, outback type people. He was also part of the sighting back on June 12th. So I think that's where people are making fun of, that all the rednecks keep seeing it. I think he's actually the guy that might come on the show as a witness. So we should stop calling him a redneck. So anyways, let's go and check out the other comments here. Alright, so Robert says he's already started seeing it, and it was last summer, and it freaked him the hell out. So he's another fishing type guy. So that's what you figure, eh? The guys that are alone in the woods at night, they're probably the ones that are going to see it more often than the ones that are like in their house on the computer or baking cookies or whatever it is. So yeah, it probably would be more the outdoorsy type, right? Alright, some jokes about pronouns. Someone made a joke about what the thing looked like. Yeah, Diane says she wants to go with the aliens. I know I hear a lot of women that say that. It's usually women that I talk to on dating sites. And then they go on about, like, I'm like, you better be careful. You don't want to get probed. And then they talk about how much they'd like to get probed. I was like, okay. When can I buy you a drink? Anyways. What part of Sabo? People are talking about what parts of the island they were seeing it. So unless you're from there, you won't know, but that's the mouth of the island. Holly was saying that there's actually been quite a bit of UFO sightings on the same island. And her mom and dad got to experience it a few years ago. So a lot of people are mocking it, but then you get these other people that look like normal people, right? And they're saying, hey, they're not making it up. It is like fucking actually some sort of people, normal people reporting it too. Yeah, Robert's saying it's not impossible for Manitoulin Island because there's so many weird legends already. Yeah, some people are also saying to make sure to report it to the National UFO Reporting Center. So we're getting reports before then. Oh, here's Rachel. Now, Rachel is actually she looks like one of the nice First Nations ladies that lives on the island. Could be wrong, because I'm always bad at telling what people look like, but so that's why I'm thinking she's probably not making it up. Not that First Nations people would be any more credible, but she doesn't fit the redneck hunter guy mentality that people are saying reporting it. So anyways, what she said is awesome. We've had 2 sightings in the past month, and it was huge. Scary the first time, even. Holy. Someone asked her if we got a picture and how big was it. She says it was actually bigger than a school bus. And we've been out looking and more prepared, but haven't seen it again yet. So holy shit, there's people actually on the island out looking for it now, trying to get a picture of it. I wonder what it is, eh? Makes you wonder, is it all the same thing? Could it be the Thunderbird? Is it actual just like a government experiment? Or some fancy new drone? Alright, so Judith says, one night sitting on the patio with her friends, a bunch of us were sitting around chatting until we noticed something strange in the sky. We watched it for a while, and just like that, it was gone. Wow. So Candace says that they like the water around the island. Lots of sightings and stories that she's heard and seen over the years. Whoa. Wow, that's intense, eh? When someone says there's lots of it going. Oh, someone saw the UFO in the toilet, so they called the unidentified floating shit department. Someone says that he's going to get flushed. Now, Sherry says that her kids love them. So, Tyler, what exactly did you see? And he just posted a picture of a UFO. So that sounds a little bit weird, right? Like, well, what? Is that exactly what it looked like? I doubt it. Alright, so Wendy says she's seen one once when she was growing up on the island. So that was quite a few years ago. I'm just kidding. I don't know how old Wendy is. I think something better than Millette. Oh, Marilee says that there have been a lot more sightings lately. Or more. Shouldn't say a lot more, but more for sure. Yeah, Sandra is saying that we need all the help we can get. And that's part of the legend on Dreamer's Rock, is that the Thunderbird will return to the island when the people need it. So if there's something bad coming, we're supposed to look for the UFOs. The fucking UFOs are being reported. Where on the island? What do we call it again? Ice Lake or something? The Fireflies people think it might be. Yeah, some of the people are so pissed off. They want more details. What was the length, the distance? Give some damn details. I'll fill them in. One report. Yes, that's what we got so far. And one report larger than a school bus. So someone saw a cloud that looked like the Millennium Falcon. That's cool. I actually seen one that looked like planes before too. Alright, so someone thinks that it actually could be Starlink. I don't know, I don't think Starlink looks bigger than a school bus, but maybe, right? Imagine Starlink was, eh? It's like these giant school buses floating through the sky. You're like, holy shit, man, that's my internet. I want to catch a ride on my internet. Alright, jeez. I leave the island and all of a sudden this stuff starts going down. What happened? So Felicity loves UFOs and she moved to Sudbury. So see, you should have never left the island, Felicity. That's what happens when you leave. The UFOs were just waiting. Pics of it or it didn't happen. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know if anyone's ever had a UFO report or seen one in real life. Normally what happens is you see it and then you're like, holy shit, like the first initial reaction, right? And then how long does that initial reaction take? Like 1 minute, maybe 5 minutes. You could maybe even be pushing like 20 minutes. You're like, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'll snap out of it. And then you're like, holy shit, I should get a camera and try to take a picture. And then by that time, it's almost ready to leave usually, right? So I think that's why a lot of times people are like, oh, how come you didn't get a picture? It's like, well, fuck, I was seeing a UFO, right? I wasn't thinking first thing to start getting out my latest recording device. I was just enjoying the moment, right? Could be the only time you ever see it your whole life, so you're sort of like just taking it in, right? That didn't sound too good. No, but I get it. Yeah, if you've seen a UFO like 2 or 3 times and then you still didn't get a picture, you'd be like, what the fuck, man? It's like, get your camera ready next time. Yeah, this is what this guy was saying too, is that every time he's seen it, he fumbled his camera and shit. Or maybe he was making fun of that. I didn't read it too carefully. Oh yeah, someone's calling Scully and Mulder. Let's hope. Ah, I tried to whistle that. It sounded horrible. They're coming. First time. Phenomenal occasionally. Take care, local. So someone, Michael wanted to go for a ride on the ship. This guy, Lyle, thinks it was clouds. Someone post a picture of their balcony or railing somewhere. Yeah, Scooter says that there must be other people in the universe. I don't know, I think, yeah, the odds of there being no people would only be if the universe was just created for us. If it was created just for us, then yeah, obviously there's a chance there's no other people. But if we're like not special at all and it was just happen chance that we somehow evolved in the universe, yeah, then in that case, more than likely. Then it could be, yeah, tons of aliens everywhere. Alright, so people debate the aliens. David Hicks says the reports are actually on the rise. Yeah, this guy's making fun of it that there was no reports or no footage yet. Someone says that they did have a weather balloon. So Michael Bailey, he says he's seen it with his own eyes and was definitely not a weather balloon. Yeah, so some people that seen it are actually like super convinced, or who knows, maybe they're making it up. Payton says that he's seen it, it's real. Some people are saying make sure you don't assume the gender of the occupants of the UFO. Could be any gender inside. A lot of people are thinking it's Starlink. One guy thinks it's obviously the flat Earth. Yeah, no one has a pic yet, but I was actually helping the person who has a picture of it find it in their timeline. So hopefully they find it and they can share the only picture anyone's got of it so far. Yeah, so George says that Starlinks are actually about 600 pounds and the size of a kitchen table. Yeah, so if you saw a kitchen table from a fair distance away, it would look tiny, right? That's what I was thinking when that lady posted that it looked bigger than a school bus. How close was it, right? Because if it looked bigger than the school bus and it was like way in the sky, yeah, then it would be massive, right? Who knows? Maybe I'll end up taking some more trips to the island and try to find out what the hell's going on with this case, right? Like, that's a lot of people on the island discussing it. I think if it was just some hillbilly or redneck that had a sighting and he posted it, most people would have just ignored it, right? I think the only reason everyone on the island is talking about it is because a lot of people are talking about it. It's not just the guy who was hunting. Yeah, even that one native woman. And not to make fun of it or anything, but I take First Nations people a little bit more seriously when it comes to making stuff up. I don't know why. Get out of here, you stupid fly. No, I got a bunch of beer bottles stacked up in the other room, and fruit flies keep coming because they smell my fresh beer that I'm drinking. Alright, so this is just the picture of the island. This is the ice lake where they've been getting reports. That's where the UFO or the Thunderbird landed or picked up the Prophet. We'll go to Google Earth so we can see it better. So if anyone hasn't seen this island before, this island is the biggest island in the world. And as you can see, it's the biggest island in fresh water. So there's probably bigger islands in salt water somewhere, but for islands in fresh water, this is the biggest one in the world. And it's known for having the most animals. It has all these giant mountains around it, so it protects it from like radiation, or the creator called it protecting it from like harmful stuff. It's hard to get signals there. Like, people complain about not being able to get internet, not being able to get Wi-Fi or anything, or cell towers, because yeah, the mountains in the area, they block all that shit. So anyways, part of the island is all First Nations land. So unless you're First Nations, you're not even allowed to buy land there. I don't even know if anyone is, because it looks really undeveloped, right? I have seen cottages along here, but a lot of them are like in ruins. So I was thinking it means that maybe people used to buy land there and then it got changed to the First Nations reserve, so they had to leave. Could be, I don't know what happened. So anyways, where some of the cave legends are is sort of like on the European part of the island, or I guess all cultures now. But yeah, so that's where the cave was, and apparently the cave provided a portal that would take people all the way to the beach. And which beach? Trying to think, where is the beach? It was going to be the beach that I was, one of the first properties I wanted to buy land and stay at the beach. I went way too far. Anyways, There's a spot where apparently the island takes you from one spot to the other, and it was like a cave, and you could it arrive in an instant. So people were almost calling it like a Stargate or a portal. They're trying to figure out how you could just go into a cave here and arrive at a beach like way up here instantly. Where the hell is that beach? It's like it went the golf course and then the beach. Why am I not able to find any of it? I don't know, it's been a few years since I've been to the island, so I guess I'm a little bit rusty on the island, but... So anyways, who cares where the beach is? The best island part legend to do with the UFO. Here is where... Let's see, Birch Island. Birch Island office is where you have to go if you want to ask permission in order to visit this sacred holy place. And here's the holy place itself. I think this is it. It's like a giant rock. I could be wrong. Somewhere around here. Somewhere on the Birch Island. It's near the resort. Maybe it's here. Goat Island. No, it's funny. They said that buffalo actually used to go in this island, but... Holy, what the heck is this, eh? This almost looks like a sacred spot or something, right? Or it could be just a park, who knows, but... Oh, the harbor. I think, yeah, that's probably where. No, that's the swing bridge. That's too close. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that the things on this are labeled better on this map, but anyways, it's probably for the best that I don't show anyone exactly where it is. But there's a place called Dreamer's Rock around here on Birch Island where the Thunderbird, or apparently like similar type to UFO encounter, occurred. And we're not talking thousands of years ago. I think the Shawanasawi story, if I had to guess, that was like even a couple hundred years ago. Maybe even less than that, because I could have swore I heard someone had a picture of him. Now, I would show information about Shawanasawi himself, but the First Nations history really doesn't get shared much, sadly enough. I know, I guess it's for privacy reasons or whatever, but still, it's kind of annoying. I really wish we could research it. Oh well, each culture is different. So anyways, what we do got about it is Dreamer's Rock, or where these UFO sightings occur. It's a designated sacred ground. You can go, a spectacular 360 view awaits at the top. You have to obtain permission and pay a small fee at the administration office before visiting. And you're not allowed to take any video or photographs. They want it to remain private. I have seen videos and photographs because people got permission and posted it, I guess, but it wasn't me. I haven't been there yet. I wouldn't post it either. I would listen to the rules unless I got permission. So anyways, Rainbow Lodge, that's the place near it. There was actually a TV series called Rainbow Country that was filmed where the UFO had the encounters there. They say that many Indian legends took place at the lodge. I think they mean First Nations. 2 foreign film companies have also came to use it as a backdrop. They call it Rainbow Country, which I think it was referring more to the light being spiritual creatures rather than the gay rainbow stuff. But annual traditional powwow. Wow, that'd be wild to see. The 3rd weekend in August. It is held below the sacred Dreamer's Rock at Sunshine Alley. Wow. Man, can you imagine you could go there and try Aboriginal foods? I never had moose before. I always wanted to try it. Yeah, here's the weird part, eh? It says Manitoulin was a permanent Aboriginal territory in a treaty gift distribution ceremonies at Manitoulin, 1836. Chief, here's the weird part, eh? Chief Shawanasawe signed the treaty in 1836. So how old would that make him? I'm not good at math. If he was alive in the year 1836, let's say if it was 1936, that'd be 100 years. 2036 would be 200 years. So I guess like 150 years or something. I don't know, probably way off, but if that's the same chief, right? So he went on from like encountering the UFOs to becoming chief. Unless it was just someone in his with the same last name that became chief. And if that's possible. I really wish I could get to the island and find out more of this history the first hand instead of just trying to read it places and not understanding it really. Hopefully that'll be one of our trips on one of the podcast or vlogging adventures. We'll have to go and visit this island, find out more about the UFOs, see if I can get permission to camp, well not camp, but stay later at the Dreamer's Rock. Yeah, like late enough to take video at night and see if we, or no, guess, yeah, you can't take video there, but stay at night and see if you could see anything. It would suck, because then if you saw it, you couldn't film it. You never know, that's probably how it works. If you're actually filming it, it wouldn't even show up. Ah, here's the giant ship. Yeah, so this ship that's in the marina, that's where the cave was supposed to take you. So when you get in the cave, there was like a portal. It would take you from to here, all the way from, I guess, down here. So it's not really that far, but still, people are like, hey, what the hell? A guy went in a cave here, came out up here, and like instantly. So you can tell, like, that's farmers' fields, right? That's a pretty far distance. Just to show up instantly. Yeah, the first property I ever bought was on this road here. Or no, not first property, second property. I was going to try building a cabin there, but there was too many ticks. So I was like, fuck, man. I don't want to build a cabin where there's like all these ticks. So I decided to sell the property anyway. I was like, hey, if anyone can deal with the environment here better than I can. Yeah, there's people that say they can find ways to deal with ticks, but man, it's a little bit too much for me. I'm just so used to living in areas that don't have ticks that when we see them, or when I see them, it freaks me out. People that see ticks all the time, they must be like, oh, it doesn't matter, you see ticks all the time, but... Alright, so yeah, that's where the Stargate portal apparently is. Up here is where the UFO encountered with the Thunderbird. And over here near Gore Bay, this is Ice Lake. So this is where the UFOs have been reported the most so far. If the reports are real. I don't know what... Yeah, here it is. It shows Ice Lake. I was just about to say, why the fuck isn't it showing the name? Yeah, that other UFO video that we had that was filmed in Montreal, it turned out it actually was like investigated by like a UFO investigator thing, and they contacted the pilot and even got the flight records. So they did verify that it was being like a sign being pulled by a plane. But the only other weird thing is that there was like this orb that was in the video too. That one was the weird part. Because like right when he was talking about these weird orbs started showing up, but that can just be like reflections of light. Every time you film, there's a chance that there's like dust in the air and it could cause a reflection of light to flicker. Yeah, so we'll see what kind of UFO footage actually comes from this Ice Lake place, right? Like this is actually like a real, like, I don't know, whole bunch of people seeing it on a whole island. There's not a whole bunch of people that actually even live on this island. If I had to guess the population, I don't know, under 5,000 for the whole island. Mostly farmers, cottages, a couple camps where you can go camping, maybe a few trailer parks, beaches. It's a resort island. The only people that would have jobs that work on the island usually work in the mines. Because sadly, part of the legend is this island was loaded with the most rare minerals, and fucking yeah, the mining companies realize that. They're always fighting the natives to try to get to destroy the whole island with mining. Thankfully, the natives stand up for the island and try to save it, so it's not all destroyed by the miners. See if we can find any of the mines in the pictures. I get it, we still need to mine, but I'm hoping that in the future we can just mine asteroids and stuff so we don't have to destroy the fucking Earth to mine. Yeah, here's some of the mines. Or that might even just be a different factory. I don't even know. Could be calling it a mine, I don't even know. I always thought the mines were more on this part of the island, but I could be wrong. No, thankfully, there's actually a whole episode on YouTube about Dreamers Rock and how they were fighting with the miners. So there was like a whole TV show about how they saved it. And it got classified like a sacred spot, and the miners weren't allowed to destroy it. And they were super pissed because the whole place is just like solid gold. So isn't it kind of neat that the Dreamers Rock that you're supposed to have like be able to contact the creator? It's basically a giant rock made out of quartz and gold. Thank God it never got destroyed. You gotta think, what are the odds, eh? Just giant boulder of gold and it never got destroyed? That was a close one. God, yeah, you can imagine how many different miners must have tried to destroy it over the years. No, I'm a person who uses mined material all the time, like electronics for stuff, so I get it. We need mines and all, but it'd be nice if we could focus more on mining places that aren't even hospitable. Like go way up to like somewhere in the Arctic or something to mine. And all the people in the Arctic will be pissed I just said that, but oh yeah, Providence Beach. If anyone wants to go to a beach while they're looking for the mine or the UFOs, this is rated one of the best beaches in Canada. I haven't been to it yet because when I went to go to it, it was pouring rain that day. So we actually skipped it. But I was like, fuck, man. One of these days I want to see this beach in real life when it's not raining. Look how big it is, right? It's a nice beach, from what I've heard. Yeah, and this island's known for some of the nicest waters. As you can tell, they get the really light blue colored water in some spots. Yeah, it looks like, what do they call it? Croatia. Croatia also gets the really light blue water. Now, it was weird, though, like, just having one of my friends in Montreal, his UFO encounter there by the insane asylum, it was, like, one of the most popular UFO topic videos for, like, months. I was like, holy, his was actually the most best. It did get, like, identified and all, but it was kind of neat, right? Like, I actually knew the guy, and his video got investigated and everything. But it goes to show you, the UFO investigators, sometimes they actually do prove that it's just a normal thing. So maybe that'll happen with this. They'll find it is some kind of new drone. Could be a government thing, could be an air balloon, could be the Tesla satellites. Or Elon satellites. Shouldn't call them Tesla. Yeah, and I'm going to keep an eye out on reports, like find out what's happening on this. If we're going to get more reports from the other lakes nearby. If anyone wants to visit the island, and you're coming from, say, like Toronto or something, here's Toronto. The best way to get there is to, like, hire transit, or you can, like, get a bus. It'll drop you off near Tobermory. And, well, I think it drops you off around here, but either way, you can get to Tobermory. Yeah, I think there is a bus that goes all the way to there. So once you're at Tobermory, you hire a boat, or not a hire a boat, you can buy a boat ticket, and it's like a giant ferry, and it's called the Chichimon, and it's like a First Nations painted vessel. It's really nice. But anyways, this giant ship will come and take you the whole way. And when you go across in the ship, there's actually some other cool things you can find. Let's show some of them. One of them is an island called Flower Pot Island. They got these giant statues that look just like the Moai from Easter Island. Isn't that wild? Some people say it doesn't look just like it, but see if I can make it a reasonable size. Now, I always found it funny that not only do they look similar, but they're actually arranged on the island in the same positions, even with the nose of the statues pointing in the same directions. So, I don't know. And they're like life size, like they're actually the same size as the two. So, as far as I know. I've never actually been to Easter Island, but... Now, I've seen the Flower Pot Island from across the island. I haven't been to the island, but I took a boat so I could see it from across, and I could see it from the land across once too. Actually, where was it? I was standing... Yeah, there it is. Here's Flower Pot Island. I recognize it because it actually looks like a frog, eh? If you're looking on it like a frog sitting in the tadpole. So anyways, there's a frog, and this is where the statues are for the island. You can even see some of them here. Or the flower pot things. Oh, here it is. That's where the boat drops you off. More of the statues. Oh, here it is. The big and small flower pots. Yeah, so one day I'd really like to get a boat and go there. So I bet you there's quite a few UFO encounters that are happening on Flower Pot Island too, if they're near here. No, so what I was doing, I was actually exploring some of the beaches along here. And it could be this beach here or this beach here. But anyways, when I was at those beaches, I think it was last summer, I could see the island from across. It was pretty cool. It was only like way in the distance, but you could see it. Just barely. So if anyone else has been to Manitoulin Island and wants to share stories of cool stuff they've seen, some of the other First Nation legends or history includes a Giants Island. So where is it? I think one of the islands along here. Not Godrich, Kincardine, Sauble, Collingwood, Parry Sound. It's probably one of these islands. But anyways, one of these islands is actually called a Giant's Tomb. Oh, here it is. Giant's Tomb Island. So there's apparently actually a buried giant somewhere on this island. A lot of people make fun of it, but they actually have like a giant memorial to the giant and everything. I'm one of the kind of people that likes the stories of giants, so I don't have a hard time believing it, but other people might think it's ridiculous. So who knows, maybe the giant connects somehow to the UFOs as well. People might say, oh, it's pretty far away, but I don't know. If you're in a UFO and you're flying to an island, it's not that far, right? Like, dear God, just to take a boat from there to there isn't even that far of a trip. So if you're a UFO and you're flying from there to there, yeah, not far at all. Blink of an eye at light speed. Now, if anyone's wondering what other shows we got coming up, I got some wild stuff going on in Clone Evolution. I'm going to do a show about the volcanoes that have been happening in Japan. We'll actually just take a quick glance at that now because I haven't even looked at it as we're wrapping up. If anyone else has got any UFO questions they want to ask, or comments or stuff about the ley line map, just let me know since I got it open. Now, right now I'm just going through the list here on the side and I'm trying to find... Here's hurricanes, magnetosphere, Mars, oceanic data. Oh man. I'm terrible at organizing files. Like, I could open the same file every day and still can't find it. Earthquakes. Ocean temperatures, crater database. What I'm thinking the problem is, it must be merged with another one. No, not an Earth database. Let's try volcanoes under earthquakes. Maybe that's where it's hidden. Major earthquakes, earthquakes. Ah, it is. They hid the volcano data in the earthquakes, or I probably did. Alright, so let's go and take a quick look at what's been happening in Japan. Holy shit, eh? There's so many earthquakes or volcanoes in Japan. Look at that, eh? A whole string of them. Yeah, other countries must be so used to volcanoes. I guess I got a lot even near my place up north, but they're all dormant. I think these ones are all still active, right? So if anyone knows which volcano it was that was most active, I'd have to look it up, but we'll do that for another show. I don't see anything jumping out as like a giant volcano going off, and even if it was, I don't know if I'd know how to tell on this map. Jesus, volcanoes the whole way along there, eh? No wonders they call it the Ring of Fire. Alright, yeah, I do got to work early in the morning, so I better wrap this up. But I think what we'll do is next episode we'll be comparing a little bit more of this map between Earth and Mars. And what I wanted to show people actually connects to the volcano stuff. So what I thought was kind of funny is if you go from this part of Earth and Mars, you see that the biggest volcano here, where they call it Olympus Mons, look how close it would have been to where Hawaii is. Hawaii is arguably one of our biggest volcanoes. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not that big in comparison to others, but it's still a big volcano, right? So I was thinking, isn't it strange how the two are just slightly separated from each other? And then I remembered that if you look at the Earth map, there's a lot of drag marks where the continent got dragged in this direction. So I was thinking, if you dragged it back, how much would you actually have to drag it back before the two lined up perfectly? So we'll go more into that next episode. Yeah, because really you'd only have to drag it from here to here, right? Because that's where the two are. So I was thinking maybe a long time ago, Mars and Earth's earthquake pattern was actually very similar. And why? Probably because of the gravity wells being very similar size, similar shaped planets. I know Mars is smaller than Earth, but not by much. What is it, 3/4 of the size or something? Yeah, and if any of one's got any more reports about UFOs and they want, let's go and make sure that our guest wasn't trying to call while I was rambling on. No, he didn't respond, thank God. Alright, so we'll see if we can get a hold of Tyler and get him to do an eyewitness account. He said he's up for doing it, but it looks like he was a little bit busy tonight. So who knows, maybe next episode. So thanks again everyone for watching. Let's give everyone a shout out before I wrap everything up. So Nabro, D. Reed, George Washington, Jelton. Good to see you again, Jelton. And George. So thanks again everyone. I guess we'll give a wrap-up message too with, let's go with the sponsor stuff. Well, first we'll do Patreon. Suki, Dan, Jim, Ray, Travis, and everyone at Patreon, thanks a million. If anyone wants to help in the future, I really appreciate it. I think everyone's already quit for now, but hopefully we can win some people back. Alright, Hydro TV. Oh wait, yeah, Society 6, finishing quick, my specialty, t-shirts, bed sheets, both popular with the ladies. Hydro TV, pays you to watch videos, $5 to shop, GameKit to try games, and free Bitcoin. It's a wallet system for crypto. Just make sure you follow your regional laws, including the one for the virtual made sex machine. It's for adults and men only, but if ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. $10 off on 150 or more with the coupon code LYINGBS. That's LYNBSN. Alright, thanks again. Oh yeah, my website, Judson Weebly. Let's go to the fire screen. Right, if you happen to get any wild UFO reports that you want to call in for the show, just get a hold of me at my email address. Let's see if we got it anywhere here. Chat, email, no we do not. But it's, yeah, you can find it in the YouTube description chat. I think it's in there somewhere. So I appreciate it. Or just try to get a hold of me in a Facebook message or on the Discord. I'm usually pretty easy to get a hold of. Unless ladies are getting a hold of me and then it's like I'm impossible. I don't know why. Alright, thanks everyone. Appreciate it. And yeah, just got bad priorities. So take care and yeah, have a good week. I'm going to be probably busy a lot working this week, but who knows? If we get more droughts, we might get a little bit less work. I don't want to jinx it, but we'll see. Alright, bye for now everyone. Take care. See you later. Later. Yeah, I can really wait to do more UFO stuff. Yeah, it's one of my favorite topics, but it kind of died for a long time, so we'll see if this is the revival. UFOs are back!